Hello, everyone. We are back yet again with another Entrepreneur of Color Spotlight. We have a good one for you this time. So definitely keep listening to what we have to offer during this Entrepreneur of Color Spotlight. I am Kenyatta Ratliff. I am the president and CEO of the ColorBold Business Association. And this Entrepreneur of Color Spotlight is brought to you with the partnership between the Appleton Public Library, UW-Madison, Allegheny County, and Winnebago County, as well as the ColorBold Business Association. We have the shared partnership and mission to support entrepreneurs of color in Northeast Wisconsin. We also have some great sponsors that is sponsoring this Entrepreneur of Color Spotlight. That is Wisconsin United Coalition of Mutual Assistance Association, as well as the Hmong Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce. So we definitely appreciate their support in the Entrepreneur of Color Spotlight. So as you know, we cover two business owners of color two times a month. And you can definitely catch it live on the first and third Thursday at 6:30 p.m. On our Facebook page, Entrepreneur of Color Spotlight, or you can definitely watch the replays on either one of the partnership Facebook page that as we share it, or even on the replays of the Entrepreneur of Color website, not yet, but our Facebook page. So I am going to bring up Ms. Parnee. She is an awesome business owner. And she has been definitely in this community doing lots of great things in our community, as well as helping other people with relaxation, knowing who they are with her martial arts and things like that. So I won't go into great detail on Parnee because she's going to definitely give us all the tea on what Parnee has to offer with her business. She is the business owner of Tara Breathe. Tara Breathe. All right. So we're going to definitely start out with letting Parnee tell us, what is Tara Breathe?
Hi, Kenyatta. Thanks for inviting me. I'm a massage therapist. I'm a Kung Nu martial arts teacher and self-defense teacher, as well as a breathing awareness teacher. And basically everything I do connects us back to our breath, and a reminder to stay connected with our breath.
That's awesome. You said massage therapist and a martial arts, right? And the other one was what again?
There's self-defense and breathing awareness.
Breathing awareness. That's a whole lot that you do, Ms. Parnee. So we definitely want to learn more about how all these things connect with your breathing and taking care of yourself. So the self-defense and the martial arts, how did you get involved in all of that?
Actually, I really was not interested in doing martial arts because my perception was that it was a hard thing to do, and the hard style was to me challenging. And when I first watched the black belt test in my style many years ago, I said to myself, I could never do that. But then years later, a friend of mine said, come to this class. And I still did not know what it was about. And I went, and for the first 4 months, I was uncomfortable because I was new. Everyone seemed to know what they were doing, and trying something new is challenging, can be challenging. And I felt intimidated, but I didn't feel like being uncomfortable was a good reason to quit.
Right.
So I stuck with it. And after 4 months, that discomfort went away. and I was excited to learn, to challenge my body and my mind, my whole being,
Mm-hmm.
to get to know how to know my body more. Actually, when you're learning martial arts, you're actually learning more about yourself and how to get your body to do what you're being asked to do.
Okay. So you was nervous at first, and then you was like, "I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to let it beat me." So, how long do you think is with a person who don't know anything about that art can like learn it and be, I guess, semi good in a martial arts? Is it like a time frame, or is it really based on the person?
Oh, that's a good question. It really depends on many factors. Going once a week can be challenging. I think I started at twice a week. When it's once a week, it is a little bit harder to remember what you're being taught. Coming twice a week, at least twice a week, it makes it easier
Yeah.
to retain.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that if you go twice a week, maybe it depends on what you mean by, I forget what the word was that you used.
I forgot to, but basically, I was trying. I was trying to say like because so the little that I know, um, there's belts in it, right? That you
Right.
so like I guess to get your first belt or your second belt, is that like a long process, or is it really just the weeks, or how does that go?
Well, in our style, the first rank, it's not a belt. The first
Okay.
rank is one green stripe,
Mm-hmm.
and that is a month. It takes a month, and that's coming at least twice a week, about twice a week.
Okay.
And it's a journey. Martial arts is a journey. There's always something, just like with life, right? There's always something to learn.
Okay. So with the self defense, is that kind of two in one, or is it something totally different than the the martial arts?
Well, self-defense is more knowing how to defend yourself.
Mhm.
Our style is self-defense based. We do learn traditional forms or kata,
Mhm.
and those are memorized. In self-defense, we generally don't teach that unless someone wants to learn the forms or kata.
Okay.
So there is more involved, I guess. You could say if you want to learn kata, and there are different categories that we test people on in
Mhm.
martial arts. In self-defense, it's more how can I defend myself?
Okay. So with the self defense and the martial arts, where do the massage come in at?
Massage. Um, I think I had this innate or have this innate sense that healthy consensual touch
Mm-hmm.
is crucial for our well-being.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that at an early age, and I wanted to learn massage in my early 20s, and I didn't make it a priority until later on. And yeah, I just felt when I was a nurse, I got this feeling that some of the patients that I met were isolated. They seemed
Mm-hmm.
isolated, and they didn't seem to have a lot of community.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, they probably need some healthy touch.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the main motivators for me to enter massage school,
Okay.
was wanting to share healthy touch with people that are isolated.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome, Parney. So I have taken one of your breathing classes. I was fortunate enough to do that, and it was awesome, the experience that I had. So can you tell us more about the breathing part of your business?
Sure. Well, I teach people to be more aware of their breathing, our breathing, because sometimes we experience certain events in our life or moments in our life that are challenging, and sometimes we end up learning breathing patterns that aren't very efficient. I guess I could say we use that word. So sometimes we learn when we're babies, generally babies know how to breathe already. And there's nothing generally, unless the birth was traumatic, of course, that kind of shift our breathing patterns. So um, we generally, and this is, I speak for myself, is that when I first started learning this this breathing awareness, my breathing wasn't efficient. I wasn't using my diaphragm muscle. Our diaphragm muscle is shaped like a dome, and it's underneath our ribs, just below our sternum bone. And when we take a full breath, that diaphragm, our lungs push that diaphragm muscle, and it flattens generally. And so that pushes our belly, our organs out. And that's the quickest way to tell if you're breathing with your diaphragm. The diaphragm muscle is mostly for us to breathe. And if your belly isn't expanding on an inhale, that means you're not using your diaphragm effectively enough. So we're not getting enough oxygen into our lungs and into our bodies. And if you've ever experienced a panic attack, if any of you have experienced a panic attack, generally we're breathing up here. We're not using our full capacity of our lungs. So generally that means if you're just using this part of your lungs, the top part, it can trigger an anxiety attack. So if you ever have a panic or an anxiety attack, notice where your breathing is and try to bring it back down to your belly, lower belly, where my hand is. And if you see my hand moving, that indicates, if you see your hand moving, that indicates that you are using your diaphragm muscle. So we want that, because up here, it triggers fight, flight, freeze, or appease, our sympathetic nervous system. All the way down, it triggers rest and digest, or our parasympathetic nervous system, which helps us digest our food. When we're eating, we're supposed to be relaxing. We're not supposed to stand at the counter and go, "Oh, I got to go to my next appointment," and rush, because that's not going to help us digest our food as well. So if we can be relaxed when we eat, and if we're more relaxed when we're about to take a test or perform, then with breathing deeply and triggering, like I said, the parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest, then we're able to be more relaxed and be more grounded in our body, instead of, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this.
But as you all can see, Parnee is she definitely knows what she's talking about. She is full of knowledge on this subject, and from experience, I can definitely tell, like, doing more work in your breathing definitely helps. So as you guys are watching this, we're definitely open for more questions. You have any encouragement words for Ms. Parnee, or any questions for a business owner, please put them in the comment section, and we will definitely respond to you and answer those questions. So, two more questions about your business. How did you name it Tara Breathe? And then the services that you offer, are they for adults or children, or?
My services are for everybody. I've actually breathed infants as well. And Tara or Tara is Tara is from my mom's native tongue. She
Mhm.
is Tagalog,
Okay.
and it means let's go. Or another way to say Tara in Tagalog is Tara na. They both mean let's go. And I wanted something that connects me to my ancestors and to part of my ethnicity.
Okay.
And breathe is obvious.
Well, let's go. Let's go. That's awesome. So all these things that you were interested in, the martial arts, the self-defense, the breathing, the massage, what prompted you to start a business with them?
That's a good question. I think when I finished massage school, I wanted to continue practicing. I wanted to practice massage. And at that point, I think I just wanted to, oh no, actually, this was a while ago, so I had to remember this.
No problem.
I started my business with the breathing awareness, and I wanted to share breathing awareness with a lot of people because I thought it was very powerful. My first breath session was incredibly powerful, and I wanted to share it with people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then, as you shared it with people, the response of them was good. I'm assuming, and he was like, "Let me share it with the world," or uh, how did it jump from those people to even bigger?
I think, and then I went to massage school the following year, and it just um, expanded from there. And I think I was going to teach. I moved to Appleton. I started my business in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, where I used to live before I moved to Appleton. And I was just practicing massage at that point, and there was no martial arts school uh, in Wisconsin of the
Mm-hmm.
style that I teach, Kung Nu. And I wanted to continue practicing the martial arts that I study. So I opened my own school and I just combined it with the massage and breathing awareness
Mm-hmm.
portions. And that's why I'm where I am now. I opened the first Kung Nu school in Wisconsin. There is another school in Wisconsin now, but for many years, my school was the first one of the style that I teach and study.
That's interesting. So, there's someone watching this, and they want to do something similar, or probably even not the same, but want to start a school or even start a business with like different things. Because a lot of people of color or any person that is in business, they often have a lot of things that they want to do. Do you have any encouraging words or thoughts to help them identify how to either fit like all their things into one, or how to start with, let me see, how to gel all of their interests into a business? Is there any thoughts or encouraging words on that?
I think being creative
Mm-hmm.
and talking with people that support you and uh, sharing ideas with the people that support you that will help you work through
Mm-hmm.
those ideas. And most of all, being creative.
Okay. Um, so with your school, if there was a person who wanted to start a school, is there any first steps that you want to give as a share, like in starting a school, what a person should do or think about?
Martial arts school.
Sure. Or like any school, but definitely because 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 that's your experience. But in starting a school and it being the first one in the area, is there any advice on a person who want to start a school, what they should do or think about?
I would say looking for the people that truly support you,
Mm-hmm.
and it might take time to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
And figuring out your values, what you want to accomplish, and finding those people that support you through that.
Okay. In that support that you speak of, when you started your business, Parnee, did you get any other support for your business?
I are you talking about financially?
Financially or education wise, or
I'm continually studying.
hmm
I continually try to learn as much as I can
hmm
in all the modalities that offer. Uh, Connecting with people, joining organizations. I'm part of a martial arts organization of women,
hmm
and there's people from all over the nation and several countries that are part of this organization, this women's martial arts organization.
hmm
And I think continually learning
okay.
because things are evolving. Massage is evolving, martial arts is evolving,
hmm
continually learning.
Okay. And all of the support of the people and the organizations and the trainings and things like that, have you received any financial support for your business?
I think I had some support from my martial arts mats
hmm
from from the martial arts group that I'm involved with. That was a while ago.
hmm
And then most of it has been out of my pocket.
Okay. Okay. So, with starting a business, is there, since you have maintained your business or started with out of your pocket, do you have any advice for a person with uh, starting out of their pocket, what that can look like or what they should do to better set them up for success?
I think it really depends on what works for each business, each business owner. I've heard some people say social media works very well for them. Sometimes that has brought in a few people for me, social media. I find that emails have worked really well for
Mm-hmm.
my followers or supporters. Um I have tried marketing, and mostly word of mouth has been the major driving force for keeping me going.
Okay. So, definitely again, everyone, if you are watching now, or even if you're watching in the future, definitely put in the comments any questions or anything that you would like to say to Parnee with Tara Breathe on her business. We would definitely appreciate hearing from you. So, Miss Parnee, is there any changes in your business from when you started?
I think I used to do marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do much marketing, although I did just decide to support a local artist publication. So I am doing some marketing in there, and mostly like I said before, I shifted from marketing to word of mouth. I guess that is a kind of a form of marketing,
Mm-hmm.
is word of mouth has been my main focus. When the pandemic uh, came was affected all of us,
Mm-hmm.
I switched to Zoom and for my classes, and I still actually do some Zoom classes, and that's been able to help me have a student outside of the United States. I had students in Oregon, California, and I have a student in Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been really amazing, even though of course the pandemic was challenging,
Mm-hmm.
is challenging. It's been amazing to be able to join classes, have classes with people from all over the world.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Definitely take. I mean, online helps you to expand your business. That's amazing, Parnee, and I'm definitely can see you having more people from other countries coming in to learn the things things that you have to offer. So I want to encourage you to keep going, because you're definitely doing an awesome job with your business. Is there anything that you like to share that you're most proud of about your business?
I think persevering,
Mm-hmm.
even though it may not be easy, running your own business,
Mm-hmm.
continuing to persevere and find ways to keep going with support from people, organizations. I think I'm proud of that, to that I've been able to persevere.
That's good. Yeah, a lot of people haven't, so that is definitely something to be proud of. In 5 years, where do you see Tara Breathe?
In 5 years, I would say I hope I see myself, my business thriving,
Mm-hmm.
and continuing to reach out to people in the community, uh, and deepening this sense of community, uh, that the pandemic either hurt or encouraged. I think the pandemic affected our communities in positive and negative ways.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of people who are watching this spotlight are entrepreneurs of color. They're also supporters. So, do you have any encouraging words or any thoughts that you want to give to the entrepreneur, and also as well as the supporter who is watching your spotlight today in regards to entrepreneurship?
Be adaptable.
Mm-hmm.
Continue to find ways to adapt, and um, finding those that are your supporters.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome advice. Is definitely being a business owner, and especially if you're the only person in your business having to work all the time, it definitely is hard for a person to get out and talk to people, and have other people to come in and help us do our job. So I definitely understand your thought about being open, and definitely when it comes to changes, because we can think that we have it all or know how we want it to be, but how you just expressed how Zoom and online has definitely helped support your business. That is something that we all can take and put into action to be able to be more fluid and open to helping. And then even for supporters, like business owners definitely need support, whether that is how your basis is word of mouth. Tell somebody else about what you just learned, and that is definitely great support for all business owners today. So we are very grateful to have learned all the breathing information, the lungs and this part that you share with us, and the martial arts, the different, it's called stages and not belts, right?
Ranks.
Oh,
Well,
ranks.
there are belts,
Okay.
but there's not always a belt change.
Okay. All the rankings, the touching for the massage, and the breathing techniques that you share with everyone. We are very blessed to be able to have learned of your business today, of Tara Breathe. And if you would like to learn more about Parnee and her business, you can reach her at tarabreathe.com, TARABREATHE.com, Tara Breathe. And where else can people connect with you, Parnee?
On Instagram, my handle is at Tara Breathe.
Okay, that's awesome. So is I'm sure there's ways of calling you or emailing on your platform. So definitely, if you want to connect and learn more about Parnee, or even about martial arts, self-defense, the breathing techniques, as well as the massage, we can definitely learn more from her at Tara Breathe on Instagram, and then again on her website at tarabreathe.com. So we want to say thank you so much, Parnee. We appreciate you. Any last words?
No, thank you so much, Kenyatta.
No problem. We love to have had you today. So we want to say, all of you who are watching us live and then on the replay, definitely learn more of Parnee at tarabreathe.com, or even on her Instagram again at Tara Breathe. Again, this partnership of the Entrepreneur of Color Spotlight is brought to you by Appleton Public Library, UW Extension, Madison, Allegheny County, as well as Winnebago County, and then also the ColorBold Business Association. If you are a business owner of color, or you know a business owner of color that would like to be spotlighted for their business, please have them reach out, or you reach out to Yee at YVUE@apl.org, or you can also email ColorBold Business Association at gmail.com, and we will definitely connect them right on in, as well as we want to give another shout out to our sponsors, WCMA, and as well as the Hmong, Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce. So we appreciate your support in the Entrepreneur of Color Spotlight, and until next time.